Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. Today, the next in line to take on L. Ron Hubbard, even though he was already talking about Scientology anyhow, but I decided to use something different about Alex Bonds Ross forms news from across the pond and has the 75 special that book that Alex has would be recognized for being one of the most infamous literary work in the world. Was well known on YouTube for being the former director of book sales. When he was in Scientology as a young 15-year-old child, where he was known for being responsible for each and every book in Scientology in that organization. But now, as you all would know, he would be out of the criminal organization, and to him and everyone Alex and the rest of the former Scientologists you see on the SPTV did the right thing by leaving. It's not a good place to even, now that they're out, nothing has changed for Scientology. It's still the same in that material. They are. Alex had proved it when he found a passage in deals with one of the dynamics in the book. In fact, he's got two of them that he came across of. He spotted those two paragraphs in the 75th edition of. In the past, that passage, they had the LGBT community as physically ill, and they didn't stop there. They went as far as calling them homosexuals, lesbians, and bisexual perverts. That book has an anti-gay written in that paragraph, and L. Ron Hubbard and David Miscavige made it clear on what they think of people in that community. They didn't stop there. In another paragraph, it has passages. It would say, oh, wait. Let me show you that paragraph about the LGBTQ community. Here it is. Alex pulled up a clip that indicates, I know you probably don't see it, the sexual perverts fined by the Dianetics indication in all forms of diversion in Dianet, all down. Well, the sexual perverts by the team of Dianetics to the brief. Oh, I can't see it fully. Any and all forms of division in Dianetics to such homosexuals, lesbians, sexual seldoms. All right. Sorry if I didn't get it right, and sorry if I kept it too long, Alex. But and of course I couldn't read it. I should have just okay. Anyways, and the next one is just so disturbing. It would make people of what L. Ron Hubbard thinks of this next paragraph. They didn't stop there. In another paragraph that would say a 7-year-old girl who is kissed by an older man, she would respond to and it would also say that there would be nothing wrong with that older man kissing a 7-year-old girl. Right. Then the 7-year-old girl who known here in not comparing, she is reacting to an engram since she should see nothing wrong in passionate. There most have been a earlier experience possible which makes a man or kissing very badly. All depends on a form of sorry, I should have just pulled the whole thing up, but it was in that paragraph that Alex had. Now, any normal human being would think that there is something wrong with that. It would be inappropriate for any older man to be kissing a young 7-year-old girl like that. That book would have direct quotes from such as John Travolta, Erica Christensen, and Stanley Clark. I hope I said his name right. Let's see. Okay, sorry, wrong one. No, couldn't find it. But I probably forgot to put it on. Sorry about that, everybody. That book would have direct quotes from celebrities such as Erica Christensen and Stanley Clare, read to you before. Now, you know what? Those celebrities made a big mistake in entering Scientology. They don't see everything that goes around. And yeah, they experience little of the same thing with people who are working for that organization to be treated badly. They get a little bit of taste of that. Now, Fat Grammy, as you know, on this network, in fact, we all do independent shows, but we would be networking. But however, according to that Grammy, Scientology has files on John Travolta. Now, word has it that he is gay. Now, everybody gets the picture that he's a bisexual. But there it was. It came out. But however, that Grammy, Mona had a file on them with Scientology holding it over his head. But you know what? He's not really going to say anything. There's just too much on him out there. But even though, guess what? This is a new day and age that almost every single person, so there's really nothing to be ashamed of. I say, you know what? If you're out of the closet and express it in that way, go right ahead. Of course, every relationship is different. So you feel comfortable with it? Go right ahead. By all means. They only put her name. Wait. Now, they also stuck Taylor Swift into the book too. Not such a great thing to do without somebody's permission, including hers. They only put her name in that book in order to sell more of it. Now, everyone didn't say, Alex didn't say whether or not that she's actually a Scientologist. He never even said that. They just used her name. That would say that David Chamberlain had been behind the success of her career. Now, it is possible that they are misleading when they said it in that diet. The way that they use Taylor's name in that book, and that's the way they had written it. He named who's the name in that book. Now, whether or not they said that a Scientologist, her name is still in that book, even though it didn't directly say that she is a Scientologist. You know what? These people are so subtle sometimes, even though sometimes they do a bad job at being subtle. But the point that Alex was using is they were still using her name to sell that. Go on to say that Taylor Swift is being used in this testimonial section as a means of logistics. Quote. Now, the reason that Alex wanted to let everyone that Scientology is using her name, and he wanted all the Taylor Swift fans to bring an awareness that they are using her name. Now, I don't have that highlighted. I'm sorry. I should have thought of. Scientology is suggesting that the man who is behind her successful career because of that risk. Alex and the rest of the material. Alex wanted to show the rest of the materials. Wanted all the Swiftie fans, he showed the materials to let all the Swiftie fans and everyone else to make noises and go on all the social media and tell everybody. So there's, of course, X, face it. The 75th anniversary of that book that preaches anti-gay materials, everyone should be aware of it, especially the LGBTQ community. Scientology is responsible for writing all of that in Dianetic. Alex Barnes Ross had the news from across the pond. The 75th special edition of Dianetics. Alex and the rest of the former Scientologists did the right thing by leaving. It is not a good place to be in. It's not such a great environment, including for children. When you pulled out of that organization, not religion, organization, cult, you saved your children from being hurt even further. But the point that Alex was using is they were still using her name to sell that book. That is Taylor Swift. They care that she actually has feelings? No. They proved it all along, although they may treat her differently because she's a celebrity. Tom Cruise even went to her concert instead of attending her graduation, which is a selfish thing to do. Then all in all, they put her name in that book in order to sell more of it. Now, he didn't say whether or not she's actually in Scientology. He just told everybody that they have her. Overall, Alex and the rest of the moderators wanted all the Swiftie fans and everyone else to make noises and go on all the social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, X. And then go to your neighbor, tell them. Each day, tell them. Then finally, Scientology won't get away with using other people's names like that. It's outrageous. Then in conclusion, that organization should be held liable for hurting people in general. Now, how do you make of this whole situation by them making comments towards the LGBT community like that, and also using Taylor Swift's name like that? Leave it at the comment below, and then I will. So, as you know, it doesn't look like, I mean, it doesn't seem there's a sign that Aaron's going to be prosecuted. So, when you go on his show, just ask him that question. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen. They might have just thrown it out of court. They can't do that. The DA feels like there is no case. Give him the well-written. And as you know, Club Brain Frog got a sandwich board fall on her ankle. And she said it is getting better, and her ankle is itching, which I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but it is a little itchy. So it is a sign that it's getting better. But at the same time, it hurts a little for her to even walk on it. So when you get on her show, make sure you give her your well wishes to her. I mean, she deserves it. I mean, everybody deserves the best. And being hurt, it's not. It's horrible to get hurt like that. Let's face it. And give your well wishes to Aaron too. Well, guess what? We have reached the end of this stream. So, hit the like and press subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow.